The new year is almost here, and many people make goals or resolutions this time of year. If you have financial goals for 2026, Clayton DeHaan with Bank of America is here to help. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. So what are a few things people can do to start saving money in 2026?
It's a great question, and it's something that's really on everyone's mind as they're getting through the holiday season. The beginning of the year can be very stressful for people, especially after going out, spending money on the holidays, and then looking at that credit card balance at the beginning of the year. And we know that financial wellness is directly tied to mental health. What most people don't realize, though, is that what is the biggest cause of concern isn't the stress of how much you've spent, but how much control you actually have over your budget. So how do you be in control? Have a budget. Take the time to really plan and decide what are your fixed costs, your rent, your mortgage, versus your variable costs. You're going out to a restaurant, going out and buying clothes, and deciding where can I actually be able to save a little bit of money. Once you have that, you're in control. And then you have some really powerful things you can do. In January, after all of the time with friends and family, it's a great time to be able to take some time and look at where you've spent your money and say, can I eat home a little more often? Can I save one more thing? And it's an easy way to notch a win at the beginning of the year that sets you on track for the rest of the year. The last thing we say at Bank of America on a regular basis is the best way to have success is to do it with someone else. Have a money buddy, someone that allows you to be able to be accountable together so you can share your goals and dreams with them and go after it together throughout the first couple of months of the year and be able to see all of the progress you've been able to make.
Yeah, I love that. You get a gym buddy, you should have a money buddy.
Exactly.
Any other tips to start the year off strong?
I think once you have that budget in place, it really comes down to how you execute on it, right? And that's where people start to ask themselves, should I just use cash? Should I just use my debit card for things? And the answer is it depends. And really what it depends about is, do you have a way to be able to spend like a credit card with rewards? Namely cash back. Because if I can, then I can make that budget stretch just a little bit further or even be able to save a little bit more money. Of course, the catch is I have to be able to go and pay that back at the end of the month. If not, the interest starts to eat away at those rewards.
Yeah.
So that's very important. And then the second part is, the last few months, many have gone through this work of benefits enrollment, whether that's at their employer, the federal government, and they forget about these health savings accounts, flexible spending accounts that they set up, childcare accounts. And those are powerful tools to be able to help you through the first few months of the year as unexpected things come up. Stick back to that budget. When you can stick to the budget through March, April, May, it gives you the strength to be able to continue it throughout the whole year.
Okay. What other resources can Bank of America provide to help consumers with their financial health?
Yeah, it's a great question. There's a couple of really powerful places that we can be able to help. The first is we have an incredible site, bettermoneyhabits.com, where anyone can go online, be able to look up tools, resources, videos, actionable topics that they can turn around and use that budget that we were just talking about, create one for themselves, and then make sure it really works for them and their family. And then the second is for those who really want a more personalized plan, be able to go into a financial center. Any of our Bank of America financial centers across Portland or Southwest Washington are available to help you build the right plan, think about your choices, and make sure that you're able to stick to it over the next several months.
Well, you kind of mentioned this, holiday season, a lot of people use credit cards or buy now, pay later options. So what should we be thinking of in terms of debt management?
Yeah, well, I will tell you from firsthand experience that there's nothing more terrifying to start the year off than when that credit card bill comes in the mail and you're like, oh my goodness, right? There's a really important point I want everyone to hear, which is that credit management is about having a process, not about perfection. And the reason is that when many see that bill, they're tempted to take one of two approaches. Either I'm going to pay the entire thing off, even if that potentially could hurt me, or I'm just going to avoid it. Obviously, the latter is bad for so many reasons. But even when I go and try to pay the entire bill off, if I can't afford to do it, it can just create me back into a debt cycle for the rest of the year as I'm using that credit card to catch back up to my budget.
Okay.
So what we tell our clients is this: as you build your budget, make sure those credit card payments are in your budget. And don't just plan for the minimum. especially with the one that has the highest interest payment, make sure you're planning to pay more than the minimum, because if you do that for a few months into the year, you will find you've made tremendous progress and are really set up again to continue the success of your budget throughout the rest of the year while having much less credit card debt as you get towards the end of the year.
Okay, well, great tips. Any final thoughts about New Year's resolutions starting off strong in 2026?
Yeah, I think for every viewer, what I would want them to hear is this: you are in control. So many times people get afraid of their finances and they're worried about what to do next, but it just comes down to take a few minutes and write it down. And if you can plan and work with someone and really be able to invest in yourself, you can have so much success as you start the new year. And with that, I hope everyone has a really happy holiday and a happy new year.
Yes, you too. And of course, we want to show folks that website one more time, bettermoneyhabits.com. You can go there for getting tips on reaching your money goals and following Clayton's advice. Thank you so much for coming. And yes, happy holidays to you too.
Thank you.